Hey, this is Dr. Todd. Let's talk about what your teenagers want you to know. Do you feel like you're constantly walking on eggshells? You're not sure what to say? In this video, I want to share with you some of the things that I believe your teenager wants you to know. So sit back and relax and let's get started. First, your teenagers want you to believe in them. They want you to trust them. They want you to treat them like the mature adults they think they are. It's true, they want to be treated maturely. Even after raising 3 kids, and now I'm on my last one who's a teenager, I find myself occasionally treating him like a kid. And he gets irritated with me on this. He bristles against it. And lately especially, I have been intentionally reminding myself that he's growing up. And I have to treat him closer to an adult than maybe I've treated him before. Closer to how I'd maybe treat my young adult children. Whenever I do this, the minute I start doing it, he responds immediately to me. And I don't think he knows that I'm doing it. It's very subtle on my part, but I think it's just, he's easier for me to be around. We connect easier. It's definitely something that I've noticed with him that I'm trying to do more of. Number 2, stop giving your teenagers advice unless they specifically ask you for it. And even if they ask you for it, you should doubt if they really want it. Most people don't want advice. Let me share with you a true story. A while ago, I spent the day working with a family. A teenage girl, we'll call her Anna, and we'll call her mom Kathy. Anna was a really interesting kid. She was an extremely talented musician. She could sing so well. And she just had this unique, quirky personality. And Anna just saw things differently than most people saw. She was a really cool kid. Well, after spending some time with her, it was obvious to me that some of these quirky personality traits actually caused her some social problems. It was a social weakness that she had. She seemed to miss social cues that would be obvious to a lot of people, like maybe facial expressions or nonverbal body language. That stuff seemed to pass right by her. She had always been the least socially sophisticated kid in the room. And because of this, Anna always felt like she was the kid standing on the outside of the group looking in. When she was younger, she was bullied, and sometimes she was bullied a lot. In fact, at one point it became pretty traumatic for her. Well, as Anna got older, she was determined to make it into the popular group. That she was often taken advantage of by her peers because she just didn't get when they were using her. She didn't pick up on those cues. Well, at any rate, at the end of my day with Anna and her mom Kathy, we were standing in the kitchen. And I was sitting in the kitchen. I was just sitting there kind of off to the side, and Anna and her mom were talking. And Anna just kind of casually opened up to her mom and about some pain that she was experiencing with a boy. She was heartbroken. She really liked this boy and kind of felt like he was different from the other boys, and she felt like he liked her too. But he would just stop responding to her text messages like a lot of boys do. And he would go silent for long periods of time. And at the moment that she was sharing this, she felt like he was totally ignoring her. And you could tell this was really painful for her. This is a kid who had always struggled feeling accepted anyways. Well, as Anna is sharing this with her mom, Kathy immediately went into advice mode. It was actually really startling for me to see this. It was almost like Anna was talking from her heart and bearing her heart to her mom, and Kathy was talking from her brain. It was a huge disconnect between them. So as I'm watching this, I just observed a few things. As soon as Anna started to open up, Kathy got anxious. She started fidgeting and she started moving around, and she would interrupt and she would start making suggestions about what the boy was probably thinking, what Anna should be doing about it. She started making suggestions and giving advice, and that shut the whole conversation down. Anna didn't want to talk to her mom anymore, and she stopped talking and walked away. Kathy had no idea what went wrong. In fact, the only comment that Kathy made, she turned to me and said, "See, this is what always happens. Anytime we talk about what's bothering her, she shuts down and leaves. I have no idea what her problem is." Well, as a side note, I have literally asked thousands of parents and couples about what's troubling them in their relationships. Almost without fail, people tell me that they have a communication problem. They will say things like, we just don't communicate, or he never wants to talk with me. And I suppose you could call what happened with Anna and Kathy a communication problem. But more fundamentally, I think it was an empathy problem. Anna was just looking to talk about something that was bothering her, that was upsetting to her. I can guarantee you she was not looking for her mom to tell her what to do or how to handle it. In fact, I think she felt demeaned when her mom did that. She just wanted to vent. She wanted to be heard. She wanted to get what was on the inside to the outside. That always makes us feel better. Kathy's response, unfortunately, was very cerebral and it was very emotionally disconnected. Now, before I tell you the rest of the story, I just want to thank you for watching this video. And I wonder, do you ever struggle overly giving advice or connecting with your kid or knowing what to say when they're sharing painful things with you? You know, we were not given a manual when our kids were born about how to handle all these situations. And so we learned by trial and error. This channel that I've created is all about using my system of correcting and connecting so that you can build a strong, influential relationship with your kids. If that's interesting to you, then like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share this with your friends. Okay, now let's get back to this story. I think for the most part, listening is connection, and advice is disconnection. Advice is a lack of empathy. Listening is a form of empathy. No one really wants advice. Even if they say they want advice, you should mistrust that. Unless they say, give me advice, even then you might still want to be wary about it. But honestly, I screw this up all the time myself. I'll tell you another little story. My youngest daughter will often come to me with what she calls these dilemmas. And these are just little dilemmas. They're social situations. She doesn't know how to handle them. They're things with boys or her girlfriends. And very often I find myself unable to resist the temptation of giving her advice. I want to tell her what to do because I obviously know the answer. If she would just do this, then it would make her situation better. And if I do that, 9 times out of 10, she gets frustrated with me. She tells me my ideas are dumb. I can't do that. That's dumb. She just gets really frustrated. I have learned that she's not looking for advice. Even when she comes to me and says, Dad, I have this dilemma, what she's really looking for is a little bit of empathy, a little bit of listening, a little bit of connection. And it's hard for me. It's hard for me to resist the temptation to give the advice. I'll tell you, the last time I was in this situation with her, I consciously thought of this and I decided, okay, I'm not going to give her advice anymore. I'm just going to listen to her. I'm going to look her in the eyes. I'm going to nod my head when I need to nod my head. I'm going to express to her how frustrated she must be, and I am not going to tell her what to do. And it had immediate positive effects for us. Just remember, when you do something like that, it actually feels like you're not doing anything. It makes you feel like you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, because a lot of us as parents feel like we're supposed to be giving advice. Well, when I did that, like I said, when I did that, her response was, without even realizing, it was sort of this relaxed, and she ended up saying, thanks, Dad, I feel better now. And that was the end of it. It was over after that. Another thing your kids want you to know is that they actually want a relationship with you too. Regardless of what you think, I promise you that they want this. They want to be close to you. Even if they have rejected you, most kids want to be close to you. I know this because I have literally asked thousands and thousands of teenagers over the last 25 years what they wish for in their relationship with their parents. There are some severe cases where they will tell me they want nothing to do with their parents. That does happen, but that's uncommon. By far, almost always, these kids will tell me they want to be close to their parents. They wish they could talk more openly with their parents. They wish they knew more about their parents. They tell me they wish their parents would share more things about themselves or be more emotionally open to them. Well, I've actually developed an entire course on how to connect with your child or how to reconnect with your child. And it's because I see this as such an important parenting task. I think it's actually the most important parenting task that we have. And I'm going to teach you how to do that. I'm going to teach you how to be close to your kids. Are you looking for more effective ways to be close to your kids, to connect with them and build long-term positive influence with them? We all struggle, and our kids are all struggling. Maybe they're misbehaving, maybe they're going through difficult phases, maybe they're struggling with their own rejections or whatever it is. We're just trying to figure out how to reach them. Well, my name is Dr. Todd Corelli, and I have spent the last 25 years as a clinical psychologist working primarily with children, adolescents, young adults, and families. I have worked with thousands and thousands of families over the years, all over the world, and I have seen the challenges that families are facing today. And that's why I have created a 4-part video series. It's completely free to watch and available online for immediate viewing. This will help you become much more effective at bonding with your kids, positively influencing them. My system is totally unique and highly effective, and I have seen this benefit my own family and many others, and I want your family to have this too. So just go to the link in the video description below, or you can go to correctandconnect.com. Enter your details, click the button, and I'll give you immediate access.